this time now to get the second match underway as Archer Punch his ticket already, and two eager hopefuls standing by. The first, Chaos. From Fresno, California, 25 years of age, a paralegal when he isn't busy, playing 3 hours a day of Summoner's War.
My name is Eric Olguin. I'm from Fresno, California, and my in-game is Chaos. I recently graduated from UCLA in June in paralegal studies, and as far as it is now, I'm basically working as a paralegal and you know, taking life as it comes along. I still want to go to law school, but as for the foreseeable future, I like to work, get some cash, and you know, make the most of it. Like for myself, I'm more of a you know, competitive person. It's just in my nature, you know, like when I get into something, I go all in, and I think that's what brought me here, you know, just that nature of me. So work, sleep, and you know, gaming, it's a constant struggle, but you know, you make the most of it and you try to balance each of the three.
Well, adversity certainly forges character, and who is Chaos going to be playing? None other than Barion. 42 years of age, from Sterling Heights, Michigan, showing this isn't just kids play. Summoner's War attracting people from all swaths and all ages.
I'm Boon Hong Nam. My in-game name is Barion. I'm 42 years old and I'm from Troy, Michigan. I am an automotive engineer. I enable some of the grill designs on a vehicle. I really can't say much more of that. So I've actually been prepped prior to this, so I could only say so much. Being probably the oldest player in this tournament, it is strange seeing, you know, some people that are like, you know, 18, 19. So it is a little bit out of place for me. So I expect a lot of curveballs, a lot of things that maybe I wasn't anticipating. So I need to adapt to that to get to the top.
And Barion's going to be looking to engineer a win here as he's going up against Chaos. He plays 10 to 18 hours a day. I'm not sure how he has time to sleep and eat and do all that other stuff you're supposed to back into a day.
Right, and that's one of the best things about this game is that even if you're in his situation where you have that busy lifestyle with family, you know, this is one of those games that you can make time for because it just has such simple mechanics.
And thankfully with tournaments like this one, you can make a little money as well. The two winners here, the winner of this event is going to be taking home $2,000, and Barion says that he's going to be buying his kids some electronics if he takes home that money. So that'll be a good time. If you're one of these other players who are out there and you're watching these matches, what is it that you're looking to glean from your observations, Clay?
I would just say writing down as much strategy as you can, getting last-minute adjustments made, because again, the strategy behind it has already been played out. They already know what monsters each player has, so it's just focusing on if there's something unique that comes out that they weren't expecting. Again, just trying to make last-minute changes before they might see them.
But having a monster and then drafting a monster are two very different things. It's not a foregone conclusion that just because you summon Gianna that you're going to be drafting her. I mean, granted, there are some very strong combos that you can lead with, especially if you get, you know, the opportunity without being banned or blocked with the other player's draft. I mean, you talked about the psychological element of it a little bit. I mean, I feel as though there are times where a guy's super prepared and anticipates only one of two things based on whether or not their opponent goes first or doesn't go first. And now all of a sudden you have an opportunity to throw them for a loop because they're so tunnel vision that they're like, whoa, wait a minute, how are you doing that?
Exactly, and now that we've seen the brackets, these players know who they're going up against. They've got their opponent fixated. They have their running scenarios, you know, if I win, what if this guy wins? You know, they're already thinking about, you know, what kind of units am I going to be drafting against them based off of like what they're playing. And so these guys are watching these matches with clear intent, knowing, you know, what kind of units are they playing with. You know, how fast are they? And they're not going to know the exact details, which is what's one of those interesting dynamics of this game, where there's just so much depth to it. And that's one of the most alluring things about this game is that, you know, even though it's a mobile game, there is so much depth to it that even after 3 years, these guys are still here playing this game.
And you know what? Even after 3 years and all of the experience, Barion still having trouble with his password right now. Barion's so focused on Strat that he hasn't bothered to remember the password. He's having a little bit of struggles there.
Well, we actually
good
sat
smile on
down
his
and
face.
had dinner with Barion the other day, and that was one of the things that he had said, that no one has ever logged on to his account before. No one has ever gone onto it. He's always kept it to himself. And now here we are. He's trying to.
Which means he can't even phone a friend here.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, Barion definitely one of the favorites in this tournament out of everybody. And looking at the bracket on this first 8 players, Barion jumps out at you as being one of the favorites. Also Brain Lag down at the bottom against Make It a Bud later on today. Those two are the main ones that you're most likely going to be seeing in the finals. But again, anything can happen, just Barion being one of the favorites for sure.
Because we've seen in other tournaments around the world, one of the top players, I mean, some of these guys just get eliminated in the first round. You know, sometimes it depends on who you get drafted up against, and sometimes you just have an opponent that just drafts maybe something that's not necessarily traditional. And sometimes RNG is against you, you get that bad resist, they get that really strong violent proc, and you just end up getting eliminated. In a best 2 out of 3, if you lose 2 times, it's time to go home.
Yeah, it's pretty rough going out there. And, you know, granted, skill is, by and large, what's going to carry you to victory in Summoner's War, but everybody's been in a situation, and having played the game, where some of that RNG comes into play, and you just feel handcuffed. You can't do anything about it.
Well, if you think about it, even you, Koopa, going up against Foy in the Mobile Masters, Foy was definitely the clear favorite to win, but you were able to outsmart him, outspeed him a couple times too, and have a great shot at winning. And it just ended up coming out where he had a couple of violent procs extra that might have just turned the match, but you really did a great job.
Right, and that was one of the great things about Foy, even prior to that tournament that I had said verbatim during one of my streams, is that if I were to beat Foy, the longer that I play with him, the stronger that he becomes once he realizes and figures out like what I'm using, what kind of strategy that I'm doing. And so I knew that I might get a win. No, maybe 2, but it's going to be very, very tough to beat him again.
Ugh. I did not envy you in that match as Claytano, myself, and Childish for sitting there just thinking to ourselves, who will beat Foy in the invitational only event?
Yeah.
Barion, I know you guys said you had dinner with him. He describes his approach to the game as being aggressive and very methodical. Meanwhile, his opponent, Chaos, describes himself as calculated / blitzkrieggy.
LAR.
And up against an opponent like Barion, where there might be some sort of like gap in terms of like skill tier, that's a good strategy to have. You know, you just kind of go all out, you take a chance, you use units that have like maybe a small chance just to do something really strong, like even like Faye, and who knows, might just win off the first turn.
Okay, there he is.
All right, well, Barion continues to effort his way into his account with absolutely no one that we can count on to help him. I'm learning now that he's actually logged in. So the first victory of the day goes to Barion, logging into his account. We're all set and sorted out as he and Chaos get their headphones on. And it is time now for match number 2. Gentlemen, here comes the draft.
All right, there it is, Barion versus Chaos. First pick goes to Barion. Barion starting with Ciara. Chaos answers back with Molong and Tableau. Recent change to Tableau. Chaos still decides to use them here at Regionals.
Have not seen that unit yet.
Well, you will remember Tableau. You will remember. However, Barion's very prepared. Drafting 2 light Nat 5 units, Lima and Yan Hong. A very strong draft. Chaos looking for his 5th unit.
Yeah, Yan Hong, one of the most OP monsters in all of G3 RTA right now.
In this situation, Chaos has 1 speed lead option. He knows that Barion has extremely fast units. Not sure if he's going to Spectra.
That is an interesting pick.
Spectra has one of the highest base speeds though in the game. So we could see an extremely fast Spectra that might even outspeed Barion.
He's gonna need it though because he's got the speed leader skill from Sierra plus Frigate. Is he gonna be able to outspeed Barion with a Spectra that you almost never see in RTA?
And Barion banned a Tableau. Chaos in turn banning
He ended up
Frigate does get the
Wusa.
first turn.
Opening with his stun and not landing it. Saving that attack bar boost for a little bit later. Spectra, though, cutting the team and getting the slow effect. Mo Long getting the stun on Lima. Lima, one of the key units here to be able to keep up invincibility and be able to dispel harmful effects. So of the 3 units, that was probably the best situation for Mo Long to get the stun on.
So Chaos at the bottom of the screen, Barion at the top of the screen.
Correct. They are switched around just right now, so just keep that in mind. Barion is with the Sierra, Frigate, Lima, Yonhong, and Chaos with Mo Long, Beta, Spectra, and Camila.
There we have the immunity buff from Beta, getting some heal, helping with the sustain. Barion looking to try and deal with this immunity buff. He did not want Beta to be able to cleanse, but with Yan Hong, has a ton of sustain. She's able to increase the attack bar as well. And there it is, Lima with the dispel, the offensive strip, also getting the stun on Spectra. Mo Long with the resist, still having immunity.
If I was Chaos right now, the first monster that I'd be looking to take out or lock down is going to be that Sierra. So if I could get just 1/3 skill from Mo Long, plus a couple hits from either Camila or even Spectra with his second skill, take out that Sierra, that takes a huge amount of damage, but he actually goes and uses the 3rd skill against Lima, then also gets a violent proc, does not hit the defense break though, unfortunately, which could be giving Barion a chance to heal back the Lima once it's another turn.
Right, and with one of the things with Barion's CR is that he knew that his CR was very tanky, and so making the run at the Lima I think is very smart.
With Mo Long down, there's not much that Chaos is actually going to be able to do to come back in this game, and then down goes Beta as well.
It's a good see Camilla.
The 1-2 punch.
She's pretty strong, Camilla here, but as the match does continue, her overall HP will go down. All her attack will go up.
Huge heal.
Ciara's got to be one of the strongest units to go up against Camilla. That bomb just ignoring defense. Barion in a solid position. There is the bomb using Spectre as a punching bag. Doesn't want to get that bomb dispelled from Camilla's passive.
Camila has been known to have some miracles, but it's going to take more than a miracle for Chaos to get back into this one. And from here, it's just clean up for Barry.
Game number 1 of match number 2. Barion with the 4-2 lead.
Spectra can
Make it a 4-1 lead.
Misses the bomb. That's okay, though. Able to detonate it here with Sierra's 3rd skill. Not a whole lot of HP left on that Camila as we get farther into the match. Round 1 is over. Goes to Barion.
And Barion did have the first pick in that last draft. I can't remember if we've seen anyone who didn't have first pick end up winning a game as I think back on match number 1.
I believe Plusle did get the first pick in either round 1 or
Game
round
1?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, game 1 or game 2. And he was able to get the, Archer was able to get the win against him in that situation.
Now we have Barion starting with Ciara, Chaos, Mo Long, Beta. Similar draft to what we saw in the first match. Barion did well in this first match, not going to change up too much as long as if he doesn't see any different units from Chaos in this situation.
Based on how things played out for Chaos, though, what sort of adjustments would you expect him to make as the rest of the build-out continues?
I'd probably bring a little bit more sustainability. maybe not bring that Spectra. It wasn't a huge deciding factor for Chaos. It didn't do as much.
Upgrade
so
the bird.
there's nice. Exactly what I was talking about there. It brings the Perna and the Raccoon both with huge sustainability, especially going against the Sierra. That's a solid choice for Chaos. But Barion decides to go with the Ganymede this time instead of Yanhong and still locks in the Lima. It looks like it.
Final pick from Chaos.
Is it going to matter who Chaos picks here, or do you think Barion's got his ban already sorted?
You are probably going to have your ban already sorted, but going into the last pick, you're thinking, okay, is he going to have something that's going to completely change my mind? If not, you already have your ban picked out of those first 4.
So Barion taking his time here.
As they both are trying to figure out what units they want to take out here to make this 4v4.
Without a whole lot of immunity on Chaos' side other than Beta, I would probably go ahead and ban the Sierra, but he actually goes and takes out the Lima instead.
In this situation, I feel like banning the Lima or the Wusa, either one, because both of them just offer Barion so much sustain. In Chaos, you're going to be running with his Beta Perna Molong.
Yeah, Molong a nice counter for Wusa. At least a little bit has that second skill to remove some of those buffs that Wusa's going to be putting up and making his team extra tanky.
So game 2 of match 2 underway. Chaos down 1-0.
Ganymede with the first turn, but can't do too much about it because there is full will on Chaos' team. Able to remove the immunity though off of Beta, which leaves it open for the Sierra to drop maybe 1 bomb.
And that's not gonna be, that's gonna be huge though. That's gonna be huge because that bomb gonna be able to land on the Beta and they're able to get the stun, and that's gonna take away immunity.
So they give him another turn without
for his
immunity.
team.
Decent damage from Sierra, able to take down almost half the HP of Beta.
And this right now, Barion's setting up his Ganymede to be able to have a lot of, to be able to basically pick and choose what unit he wants to use his reset on, as well as control their attack bar. And he actually decides to increase the cooldown on Wusa.
Smart decision, put that shield right back up on his team. Doesn't give Chaos a chance to even get that Ganymede down. Does a lot of damage from the Dark Sylphid, but not enough to take it down. He should be able to get it down with Perna. Gets it down. That's a huge play for Chaos. Able to kind of turn this back around. Now he's just got to worry about Sierra and the sustainability factor.
And in this situation, Barion's got to, basically at this point, he needs to really just hope that his CR does not have a bomb resist.
Able to remove immunity off the frigate, but unfortunately not able to take it off of Sierra and get a stun on, which could have given him a lot bigger advantage from Chaos's end. However, Molong's sitting there with a bomb on him plus a defense break. That's one of Chaos's main units. However, he still has a lot of damage from the Perna and Dark Sylphid to still make something happen, even if Molong does go down.
Heal, it's Molong's in a really healthy position right now. A really tanky Ciara though.
He's a very tall Sierra, also does a lot of damage as well.
And we're seeing the positive effects of that sustainability initiative that Chaos took, is making the adjustment.
Absolutely. Great adjustment on Chaos' side, taking those 2 monsters, Raccoon and Perna.
And there
this is the bomb from Sierra. This is a huge, huge plus for Chaos. Push of Immortality back up from the Wusa to add that immunity and shield, which is taking a lot of the damage. It's absorbing a lot of the damage from that Perna.
Oh yeah, even without Lima, the Wusa still offers a ton of sustain between Wish of Immortality and his second skill to get that heal. He still will be able to go toe-to-toe with this team. He just has to try and prevent that Beta from applying immunity to the entire team. The only way it's going to happen is if the Sierra doesn't miss any more bombs at this point forward.
Yeah, Sierra definitely needs to start landing those bombs, taking out the monsters. The Beta is actually one of the most important monsters to get rid of at this point. Was able to take down the Molong, but Beta revives it right back.
And there's that Beta immunity with the heal. That's a lot, but Barion's hanging in there, even with only 3 units versus 4. Wusa is keeping up with Witch of Our Mentality, and a big part of that is with Frigate. When he does his attack bar boost, he's reducing the cooldown on Wusa, and he's able to keep that immunity going. But now as we get further into the match, we're having a huge attack buff to this Perna, to all the rest of his units, so he can take a lot.
Down goes Sierra. This is hugely in Chaos's favor now. Just need to take down that Frigate next, and this could be game over.
In Barion's position, he doesn't have one of his damage dealer primarily was Yara. I mean, Frigate and Wusa, he could hang in there for a little bit, but the Perna is just going to scale so much better from the attack buff than any of Barion's units currently on the board.
Yeah, and that Wusa shield is going to keep taking less damage. It's not going to be as effective as the match goes on.
What's interesting is you never get to see your opponent's face when you're out there and you're rumbling. And here we can, and when those blows sustained by Barion, you could just see the look on his face as he knew the bell tolled, and Chaos instantly nodding as he got up 4-2.
Right, well, you said he had that blitzkrieg mentality, and he came out with something, changed up extremely different from his first draft, and it's definitely paying off.
And at this point, Koopa, when you know that you're probably not going to be able to get back into the match, you probably don't want to quit out of it just yet because you want to take that time.
You actually learn from it, exactly. You're actually trying to figure out what you want to do into the next match. How did you lose? What unit should you have banned? Maybe you have another unit that you should have drafted. So you definitely got to take this time to just reflect as constructively as possible until that next match starts.
This is a very crucial situation, even for Chaos. Going into this next match, it is whoever wins, the person that loses goes home. So having Barion in this fight as one of the favorites, being 1 round away from elimination.
And so Chaos finishes the job and levels the score at 1 apiece in match number 2. Impressive adjustment, I think, is the takeaway in that particular match, gentlemen. That sustainability initiative that we saw him employ, choosing the different units.
We can't actually get into the pick ban stage just yet.
Had a little power surge come through the arena. Trying to get the pick ban stage up on our tablet so we can bring you the developments as we move toward game 3. And wouldn't you know it, even here we're having Wi-Fi problems. It's a story of your life. So I'm being told that to ensure that we are able to bring you this 3rd and pivotal game in match number 2, we are waiting for an official ruling. We're going to perhaps hold or force a restart of game 3, even though the pick ban stage is well underway. Stand by for details on that.
All right, so we got everything back now, and it looks like we have Chaos with a Sierra, Beta, and pretty much the same team that I had last time with a Veligil instead of Rakuni.
And what sort of adjustments did Barion make there, as I didn't get a chance to look up and see the units he drafted?
I didn't actually get a chance to see the units he drafted.
Oh, we'll find out in a moment.
We'll find out very, very soon.
There you
and
go.
Chaos actually is on the bottom. Barion is on the top. So the two teams are switched now. But you see, Barion did get the first turn with Okeanos.
He was getting that reset on Vela.
the
Absolutely
Vela.
huge. That's what he needed to open with, to be able to have the control. He did not want to have the immunity. However, he still has to worry about Beta, because Beta can still apply 2-turn immunity. But Barion this time having Yanghong and Lima, those two working together. A ton of sustainability. Barion does not want to run into the same issue that he had last time, where Chaos has had such a team that could just last so much longer into the match.
And in this situation, Barion does have 2 buff strippers on his team with Molong and Lima, and then Chaos actually has 2 immunity buffs on his team with Beta and Velajoul. So they got 2 different options that they can use, and it's just countering one after another. And there goes the Molong, not taking the immunity off of the 2 monsters that he probably needed to get it off of.
Oh my goodness.
Huge damage from that Dark Sylphid Icarus. Trying to nuke down that Okeanos. Is he going to get it? He does not get it. No violent proc from the Furna either.
And that's what we're
Both
talking about.
stuns
You really
on.
wanted that immunity stripped off the Furna as well as the Beta, so he could get the stun on them with the Okeanos.
Yeah, still able to get the Okeanos stun on Velajoul and Icarus, but those two not too important since they've already used their skills. Also, the reset was already happening on Velajoul, so not the 2 most important monsters that you're looking at stunning down, but having that Perna still with immunity and glancing buffs on him as well, he's in a good position right now.
Misstep in the targeting there?
Not in the targeting, he just didn't hit the skills that he needed on his Molong, didn't remove the immunity, more of just an RNG factor that wasn't able to remove the buffs on the key units that he was looking for.
And you can see that reckless assault from Barion. He definitely has that Beta in his sights right now.
Resistance from the Perna, that is huge for Chaos because now he has a whole nother life out of Perna. So even though it's got full health, he's got another life coming back after it. Unless that Okeanos is able to get back in there, get his skills around, get his skills up again where he can reset that Perna once more.
Yeah,
But it looks like
Beta,
Beta
though.
goes down. That's a huge portion of Chaos's sustainability.
Barion obviously looking to make the adjustment after that sustainability played such a huge role in his loss in game 2.
And this is what Okeanos does best, controlling the team, landing the stun on the Vela, which was probably the best case scenario. That way Vela can't put up the immunity back for his team. Now that Beta is done, Okeanos is a really dangerous unit, and that was one of the reasons why Chaos was trying to take out Okeanos right from the beginning of the match.
Yeah, it could have just came down to that one violent block from Perna. If he would have gotten that, Okeanos would have been down, but now this is actually much more in favor of Barion, where I thought that Chaos actually had the upper hand at first, but now tides are kind of turning and Barion's coming back, able to take down the Velajoul as well, and it's going to be really hard for the Icarus and Perna to come back and hit these two. So this one, I don't know, it's looking like it's almost over in Barion's favor.
And this was one of the things that Barion definitely did after that last loss. You know, he analytically just broke it down. You know, what were my mistakes? What units did I not bring that I should have brought? And then that's one of the strong things about all these players that are at this tournament, not just these two, is that they are in that top 100 because they're fast learners. And you know, when they go further into these matches in the second match, or in this case in the third, this is when it gets really, this is when it's super competitive.
The mind games amplify even higher.
It
Is he going to use the same team that he used last time? What's my choice going to be? Or should I use something that I think he's going to be countering against my team instead? And having that sustainability from Yanghong there is just a huge factor. You almost have to bring more sustainability with a Molong because he's going to be just using his own HP, killing himself. As you can see, a Reckless Assault. Looks like it is on Vampire though, so he's gaining some of his HP back as he's using it. So it's a great build for Molong because he does get the HP back when he uses his Reckless Assault.
And here you can see Barion looking to take this final unit down, going a little bit farther in this regionals.
And sure enough, Barion completes the 2-1 victory over Chaos. And we talked about how Barion was one of the early favorites, gentlemen. You feel like just winning one game is a pretty decent result up against a guy like that for Chaos?
I think Chaos played really well. I think the match could have gone in his favor just like I said, one violent proc from Perna to be able to take down the Okeanos, that would have been it. Barion could have potentially lost right then if there was one violent proc. Unfortunately, he didn't get it, but it was a very well played out match by Chaos, and pretty proud of how he played.
Right, I think that match was actually a good example to the rest of these players that are watching that, you might have like these really big opponents, these guys that are like really big names, or they're favored to win, but anyone can lose. It doesn't matter how long they've been playing or how well they understand the game. He could have easily have lost that match right away, right in the beginning. And Barion would have to go home.
And like we've said, once you get to that G3 level, you've got the monster box. It's just a matter of a little bit of the RNG, but it's also about putting yourself in a position to exploit that RNG when you are given the opportunity and make sure that you're using it effectively. Like what Barion did, for example, with the sustainability, when he saw the adjustment out of Chaos in the second game, he clearly realized that's what I want to target going into game 3. I don't want to let that play, as he got rid of the beta early, I believe it was.
Yeah, got rid of the beta early. He also brought more sustainability with his team last time because he got out-sustained on the second match when Chaos won. So bringing that Yan Hong back, the light Skydancer, definitely was a huge factor for Barion in that third match as well.
All right.
And it was in the first match.
And Barion is standing by right now with our Maria Ho. Maria.
Barion, congratulations on making it to the next round. What is it like to play in front of a live audience?
It's quite a bit different. It's a little scary, but it's also exciting at the same time.
Well, you seem to fare well under the pressure. What are you going to be doing until your next matchup? Are you going to be scouting, watching all the other games?
Oh, I will be watching everybody else for sure. So I'm trying to get a little bit of an advantage here and there, right? So.
All right, well, best of luck in the next round.